Now to a FOX23 investigation. A tiny home community in West Tulsa is trying to help solve homelessness.
The Eden Village has been under construction for 2 years now.
Tulsa's investigative reporter Janna talked with one man who's about to be one of the first to move in.
A tiny home coming down from a huge crane. It's getting close for Donald Schloop to finally be able to move into the first tiny homes community in Tulsa.
Here we are. It's actually happening, and I'm excited to be here today.
Donald says he's been homeless and living out of his truck for more than a year.
During the time I was homeless, I never surrendered my business, my small business. I washed windows. And so I operated out of my truck, and it was extremely difficult to keep your clothes clean and remain shaven, to be presentable.
6 months ago, when Donald was already at a low point in life, an infection led him to losing his foot.
You don't want to entertain stinking thinking. You know, it can take you all the way down. So if you have a small victory, celebrate it big.
He applied and got accepted to be one of the 63 homeless who get to move into the community, Eden Village of Tulsa.
I don't have to report into anybody or look over my shoulder, you know. It's a great sense of peace.
But he can't move into his tiny home yet.
It's been a long time to wait to have a move-in date, and they had to put it off a couple times because of the setbacks.
I've told you about those setbacks. More than 2 years ago, Brad Johnson came up with the idea for a 63 tiny home community here in West Tulsa.
They're efficient, they're cheap. Compared to living on the street, you have a 400-foot tiny home with a bedroom, a little kitchen, a living room, bathroom. It's like heaven if you've been under a bridge.
Back in June, we saw workers put in manholes and the orange spray paint that marked the sewer line for the neighborhood. At the time, Brad was getting impatient. He told me all about the construction and weather delays. The day we were there, they were working around the mud and the puddles.
A little muddy out here, but we're still getting some things done in spite of the mud.
Is it taking a lot longer than you thought?
Oh yeah. So I'm a small business owner for 32 years. I'm used to making things happen quickly, and doesn't quite work in that way.
Where did you think you would be right now?
Oh, I thought we'd be open by now. But I'm a naive guy, maybe too optimistic. So really, a lot has happened in 2 years, but to me it seemed like forever because things just take so long.
Brad says putting in the sewer line has been a time-consuming ordeal, and getting the needed City of Tulsa permits caused a big delay too. Since you came up with this idea, what has happened with homelessness?
Well, the homelessness has gone up.
The numbers show the homelessness problem keeps getting worse. Every year, volunteers go out and do what's called a point-in-time count. They count how many people are living on the street and in shelters. Since Brad started his effort in 2022, volunteers counted 1,063 people who were homeless. In 2023, the number grew to 1,133 people. And this year, the count showed 1,427 people. That's a 34% increase in 2 years.
That's one reason why I'm trying to make this happen sooner. Of the 63 people that hopefully will be living here, they've got a shot. They've got some hope.
A couple weeks ago, cranes put down 9 homes that will go in the same cul-de-sac. Now it won't be long before the first 9 homeless people won't be homeless anymore. They just hooked up the water and plumbing to those homes. Now all they need is the electric.
It's a night and day difference.
Community Director Mark Clayton says seeing homes on the ground shows the hard work is paying off.
It really puts things together, and we have a visual of what this is going to be.
It means a lot. I mean, at one time I had a 4-bedroom home, and I went through a painful divorce, and then I went through some time where I was just homeless and struggling with depression and getting some help with the depression, but also the pain of losing my family after 25 years. It takes a while to overcome that. I don't know if you ever completely do, but I'm back to where I want to live in a home and be respectable and be able to invite people over and have a physical address again. It's extremely heartwarming.
Donald says for so long, every day has just been about survival.
I need to eat, got to find a place to sleep, I need to shave, yeah, all that stuff. This becomes your dominating thought of the day.
He looks forward to not only having a home, but becoming part of a community.
I'm able to talk to people, and I'm going to rebuild my friend base. I don't have many friends with the isolation.
Community. That's what Brad has always said you have to keep the homeless in a home.
It's about relationships. And that's where, if you've been on the streets for over a year, you can't just give them a key and wish them luck, and that just does not work.
Now, 2 cul-de-sacs are on the ground and under construction. That's 18 total tiny homes. They'll add 1 cul-de-sac at a time until all 63 homes are here. And more applications keep coming in. So far, 300. More than 4 times the number of homes.
How do we determine who gets a tiny home and who doesn't? And so part of the application process is to do an interview. And in that interview, we do a needs-based assessment, and depending on the person's disability and how much time they've been on the streets, we kind of make our decisions based upon those.
Donald knows he's one of the 63 who will soon get a key.
Being here in a home with a wonderful kitchen and a bathroom, it's all clean and brand new, I'm just so privileged. I feel extremely grateful. I'm just looking forward to a place to go and a place to stay.
In West Tulsa, covering news that matters, Janna Clark, Fox 23 News.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Janna Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at fox23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search Fox 23 Janna Clark on Facebook.